Welcome to Super Dave Dev channel, and my name is Divan. Today we're going to be covering the Rockstar Editor, and this is part number 3. This is going to be third and final part of how to use Rockstar Editor. And last time we were covering the director mode and some of the features in the main menu of what you should be expecting. We basically just went to director mode directly, and I told you to go directly and start getting your character together, start thinking about a story that you want to portray in your video, and then also start recording and how to record. So now on the third part we're doing the actual creating the new project. So clip management is only there for you to know where your clips are and what clips you have recorded. So if you're not sure if you have a specific important clip recorded, you can go into your clip management, which is the fourth option from the first option, which is create new project. You can just scroll down four blocks below and you'll be at clip management to see if you have all your recorded videos for what you would need for your short film or your long film, depending on if you're doing short or a full feature film. It's all up to you, all very hard work, short or long. Long is obviously going to take you much longer time to complete. So just to quickly go through the main options, you have create a new project, which is the first option. The second option is load a project. So if you have already created a project, you can just load that project and continue, especially if you're saving a project and you want to go back and redo it and go back and complete it. Director mode we've already done in the first and the second step. Now clip management is where you check and make sure you have all the videos that you need that you have recorded for your project. And then video gallery, that is where you've actually exported your final products, your final clips, your final short movies, your final full feature movies, and you can see them all final rendered in clear 1080p 60 frames per second, depending on how you want to. You can do it in 30 frames per second or in 60 frames per second. It's all up to you. You can also choose to have it as high quality as possible. And then also tutorials. Well, tutorials is only there as a link. You would need to take that link and you can go onto the main website. It is not as informative as my videos. It's all up to you, depending on if you want to check it out. You can definitely do so. It is obviously Rockstar's website, and I do have some helpful hints, but I'm going to give you everything here and extra. So now we're going to go straight into the create a new project. So what does create a new project mean? Create a new project means that you're finally starting with your video. Now after you've entered and you're officially starting with your video, the first thing you'll notice by clicking on enter is you have a couple of options. What options do you have? You have add a clip, add radio track, add score track, add text, full screen preview, save project as, save, export. So add clip is simply the clips that you have already recorded, which is in your clip management, you're now able to add them in your project, and you can choose which clips. Remember, you have to have a plan of which clips you want to use, which one will be your opening scenes, which clip will be in the middle of your movie, which clip will be at the end of your movie. You have to have that all figured out all by yourself, making up some kind of story and portraying some kind of story. So you would need to have a plan. That is the ultimate goal of having all your videos recorded. You would need to know how you would more or less fit all of those videos together and tell a story, regardless of what kind of story you're telling. So the next one is add radio track. That is when you want to put music in your video. Music is a very big deal in movies. If you haven't noticed, movies is always full of music. So music is everywhere in every single movie, and that is why you have add radio track. That is all the music you'll find in Grand Theft Auto 5. You can add them in your video, and you can add some more spice and some more interesting sounds into your video clip, or your, should I say, short film or full feature film, depending on what you're doing. Add score track. Score track is mostly like a sort of intro outro type of music. There's no specific music. It's more like it's just there to get the mood, so to explain the mood. So score track is more audio that gives a specific feeling of a specific moment. That's how I would describe score track. And then also add text. Add text is quite easy. It's captions within your video that people can read to understand what exactly you want them to understand. Anything you want, even when a character is talking without saying words, you can use text to portray what they're saying without them actually saying anything. You can also explain things that they don't see. You can even give time of day. You can say anything you would like ending credits. It's all up to you with add text. And then full screen preview is once you have created your project and you want to view every single part of the clips that you've added and see what they look like. You can press on full screen preview and see what your product looks like so far. And save project as. If you want to change your product to a specific name, you can save it as a specific project name as you wish. And then also you have the quick save feature where you can just quickly save it. I normally use this feature when I finish my project and I just want to make sure that I don't lose anything by saving it as quickly as possible. And then also export. Export is your most important thing when it comes to finally being able to put all your clips together into one fully featured short film or feature film, depending on what kind of video or clip you're looking at making. So export, you've got 60 frames, 30 frames, you've got high quality, low quality, all of those features. The higher you are, the better the quality. Obviously, the lower you are, the lower the quality. I will personally recommend to keep it on 60 frames per second just for the best effect possible. And then you can also do 30 frames per second. It's all up to you, but I will definitely stick with 60 frames per second. So export, you can upload it to YouTube, or you can also upload it to the social club on Rockstar website. So that's all up to you. So that is it for the main menu of the Rockstar Editor. Now we're gonna move on, and now that you know what you want to do and how you want to actually go about selecting your clip, you would go and select your clip finally. So once you've selected your clip, you will add it into the timeline in Rockstar Editor. As you see, I already put some videos together, which videos I want first, second, last, and so forth. I'm arranging them in the specific order for a specific reason of making sure that I have a beginning, middle, and end of my short film. So now that I know which film I've added and which films will be my beginning, middle, and end, now I'm gonna go and I would need to click on a specific clip to edit it. So how do you edit something? You would basically need to double click on the actual video or clip that you've added. You double click with your right mouse button, double click on that video. It gives you, are you sure you want to edit the editing mode? You say yes, and once you are in the editing mode, then you see the Rockstar Editor loading up. And the good thing about this is that you have the option of now being able to check what camera angles you would like to have in your video. So to your left you will have the editor, the actual editor. It has cameras at the top. The menu of the Rockstar Editor has cameras, and it's got depth of field, effects, audio, speech, position, set thumbnail, and anchor. So I'm not going to tell you exactly what every single thing does, because at the end of the day, for every specific thing you would need to find out what you want to do. Now for me, I'm just doing a normal video clip. I'm not trying to do anything very special with it. So for me, I'm focusing with cameras, making sure that I have the right camera angles. I might play around with depth of field, because you can blur the background and make sure that the person or the thing you're focusing on is sharper than the rest of the background, so just to make sure that it stands out. And you also have effects, so you can choose what type of effects you want with your video. You want it to be black and white, whatever effects you want. I normally keep it the way it is. I don't like to make it seem obvious that it's being edited or was edited on Rockstar Editor. I'd rather make it feel like it's very original and that it could be part of the actual game, instead of putting video effects that could make it seem otherwise from something else. So you can the speed option is very important. Why is it very important? If you want to show something in slow motion, speed is very important. You would need to count down that speed. You need to dial that down. So the lowest you can go is 5%. Then you can go to 20%, 30%, I believe 35%, 50%, and 100%. And you can go faster as well. But what I want to say is that 50% is a very strong video speed. If you want to portray something in as much time as, without compensating too much, you want to portray a specific clip without wasting time, you can do it at 50% speed, and you can see what you are showing, and you can also have a relevantly proper speed. Now another thing is that you can do the position. Now position is obviously where your clip is starting at. Now I do not use that position. I go into the actual clip itself. It's got two kind of let's say two markers on either side of the actual usable clip, and you can squeeze them together. You can bring them closer or make them wider. That is where where your video starts and where your video ends. You can use those specific items, which is located here. That's the first one from the beginning. If you click on it, it gives you a option to fade in, fade out. So if you click on your first marker, it gives you a fade in, fade out option. When you click on the back marker, it gives you a fade out marker. So the first one is fade in only, and the last one is fade out. And you can pull and push these things together, make them go bigger or smaller. I brought them together because there was only a specific point in this clip I wanted to use. So I checked this clip out and I decided there's only a very small piece of this clip I wanted to use, and that is why you see those two markers are very close to each other, because that's the only part of this clip, this specific clip that I recorded, that I want to use, seeing that most of these clips are very short, and this specific clip was the only piece that I wanted from this clip to be used. Now the thing that you will be using the most is the cameras. And what you do is you click on camera, and you have the option of going, let me just show you. So you can either go preset overview, preset left, preset right, preset rear, preset front, free camera. Now I use free camera a lot, and the reason why I use free camera a lot is because you have the freedom of making sure that you put the camera exactly where you want it. You move it with your keyboard, you move it with your mouse. You put that camera, if you want to put it in front of someone's face, you put it in front of someone's face. If you want to put it on a corner looking far away at your character, you can do that as well. Sometimes there is a specific radius of how far your camera can go from your character, so you have to keep that in mind as well. It also depends on if you are locked on your character or not. So when you're busy adjusting your camera and you are trying to find the perfect angles, you click on edit. So when I go to free mode camera, I click on edit, and that gives me the option of moving the camera with my keyboard and mouse. As you can see, I'm moving the camera, trying to find the best possible point where I can show how this guy is being hit solidly on the face. Now it takes a while, but sometimes you will notice that the camera doesn't always do what you want it to do, and you have to compensate. You have to somehow find common ground where you find what you want with, and also realize that you can't have exactly what you want and where you want the camera. So that's also good. And like I said, I use speed a lot. I would go to the speed, I would slow it down, because I want to specifically show how this action is taking place. Especially when something is happening very quickly, you would need to slow down time so your audience can have time to notice what is happening. So one more thing is, if you want a specific camera in a specific spot on your timeline of your video, you have to make sure that your video plays until that point where I normally press spacebar for it to stop at a specific point, or I use my keyboard arrow keys to go left or right to fine tune exactly where I want it to stop and where I want the camera to be, or where I want to be on the exact time of that clip. So what do? I press M, which is M for mother, to open up a new camera option. So when I press M on a specific point in the timeline, that gives me the option to add another camera view. So exactly where you want the camera view to be, exactly where you want a new camera angle to pop up in the video, you would need to press M while you're inside in editing your clip. So that is all I have to say for that. And once you finish doing all your camera views, and you've decided where every single camera view will take place and with the angles of these cameras, then you will press F5. Now F5 is there for you to save, so that is just a reference point of saving. So once you've officially finished and you have gone through all the clips, you've cut your clip short, you have made sure that it's possible for your clip to be as perfect of a video as you could possibly manage with the angles and the speed and so forth, special effects, whatever it is that you wanted to add. There's no special effects, it's just effects where you can change the color of your actual video. So what you do is, now that you completed your video clips and you've made all your clips, arrange them in a specific order, edit their video camera views, edit how they would fade in, fade out, edit where they would start, cut them, make sure that they do exactly the way that you want them to do, then you would officially have to save it. So what do? You save project as. If you want to save it as a specific name, you would need to do save project as. So I saved my project as A Dirty Cop, which is the name of my series so far. Or if you already saved it as a specific name, you can just go to save, which is just below save project as. After saving, you would need to focus on viewing it. And when you view it, full screen preview, so that is what you call it, is full screen preview. And full screen preview will give you the option of viewing your project. So it says, are you sure you want to view the project? You press enter for yes, and then you would go ahead. So now it's showing you exactly what you should expect. So this is what my project preview looks like, with all the camera views that I've decided to put in. So each camera view pops up. It's indicated as a line on the time of the video. When you look at the time bar at the bottom, each camera view has a specific point, which is pretty awesome, as you can see exactly where it's transitioning into a new camera viewpoint or a new camera angle. So all of this I've done. So now I'm just checking whether or not these videos look the way I want it to look. And so far it does exactly look the way I want my videos to look. It'll play your videos, Rockstar Preview will play your videos from beginning to end, so you would see exactly what it looks like from beginning to end. So after you've done everything possible, now there's one last thing you have to focus on. You have to now officially export your video, so you can start to complete your video by exporting. So export is right here. You would click on export, and export will take you exactly what you need to do, or show you exactly what you need to do. You've got two options. You've got the quality of your video, which is high, medium or low, or you can, and then also the second option is your frame rate. You can do 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second. I still would rather do 60 frames per second for every single video. That's just the way I feel about it. Then you would say apply and continue, and then once you have finally started to complete the process and export it, you would then be able to complete all of your clips to be joined together to form one single video for you to enjoy and upload to YouTube. Now these videos, if you go to the main menu of the Rockstar Editor, if you've finished with the video will be put in your video gallery, and the video gallery is where you'll see your finished products, and from the video gallery you'll be able to upload it to YouTube and upload it, and that will be automatically be able to upload to your Rockstar social media account. So that's all I have for today. This is the final part of how to create videos in Rockstar Editor. I really hope you enjoyed this. Hope you will enjoy creating interesting videos. So hope you enjoyed this video, this tutorial on me showing you how to use Rockstar Editor. I would really appreciate it if you give me a like and subscribe, and I would really appreciate any comments you have, good or bad. I would really love to reply to you as much as I could, because I've recently uploaded mod videos for Grand Theft Auto 5, which I find is very interesting, very awesome, and I'll see you in some of my next episodes. Ciao for now.
Thank you for watching. If you like my video, why don't you subscribe?